How do you support individuals in achieving their highest level of health? What role do you play in creating healthy, thriving, resilient communities free from substance abuse, violence, or suicide? This short video will take a look at prevention, break down some terminology, and help you see where you fit in. Let's start with a story. Imagine if you saw someone in your community fall over the edge of a cliff. You would probably be relieved to find an ambulance at the bottom, ready to whisk them off to be cared for. Now imagine if you saw it happen again and again and again. You might ask, how can we catch them before they get to the bottom? And then maybe you'd work with other people in your community to put up a net to catch people before they hit the ground. But the net you put up is not perfect, and some people continue to fall through the cracks and around the edges to the bottom. You realize that you need to do something to prevent people from falling over the edge in the first place, so you build a fence at the top of the cliff. As you are admiring the new fence, you start to notice something else. Some people in your community are living right on the edge of the cliff and are still at much greater risk for falling, even with the added protection of the fence. You start to wonder why it might be that some people are so close to the edge while others are farther away. Now let's take a deeper look at this story. There are many social, economic, and environmental factors that impact our health and the choices that we have available to us. Factors within our families, schools, and communities can serve to protect us or to put us at greater risk. When we live in an unsafe area or face violence at home, when we don't know where our next meal will come from and have few job options, when we face discrimination or are isolated without social support, when we have little connection to school or have experienced academic failure, when we don't have a trusted adult in our lives, or when it's easy for us to get drugs, we are in effect living at the edge of the cliff. Tackling these shared risk and protective factors, or social determinants of health, is considered upstream prevention. We are moving people away from the cliff's edge and reducing their risk for violence, substance abuse, suicide, teen pregnancy, dropping out of school, and more. Our fence represents primary prevention. Some examples of this might be a mentoring program that teaches parenting skills or helps young people develop coping skills. It might be a policy that raises the age to buy tobacco or adds a health class in our schools. These efforts seek to do things like stop violence before it occurs, prevent a young person from using tobacco, marijuana, alcohol, or other substances, or to support a student before they drop out of school. If we could prevent everything, that would be great. But we know that's not the case. This is where the net, which represents secondary prevention or intervention, comes in. Something negative has already happened, and we're looking to help get things back on track or to intervene and prevent them from getting worse. Examples might include a diversion program, a collaborative management program, or screening efforts. And even with all of these in place, we know we need treatment facilities for those struggling to overcome addiction, hospitals for those suffering from injury, and jails for those who have committed serious offenses. This is referred to as tertiary prevention, and it has the goal of rehabilitation, preventing death or future offense. To be successful, we need a comprehensive approach, one that complements treatment and intervention services with primary and upstream prevention efforts. Regardless of where your day-to-day work focuses, we all have an interest in seeing kids and communities live and thrive away from the cliff's edge.